my name is Lindsay. I'm 32. I have throughout my whole life suffered from anxiety. I guess I didn't know that I had anxiety till probably late teens, early 20s. I've also had bouts of depression. I've had post-traumatic stress and postpartum after I had my daughter. But the main thing that I deal with daily is anxiety. It comes in waves, and I want to talk about it because people don't talk about it enough. I discovered that I had anxiety. I had a pretty rough childhood, and sort of lots of stuff happened. Lots of people died, and it was, I guess, as more pressure of world problems as you get older, you sort of get more problems, and you start to work, and the older I got, the more stressed out I got, and it was later relayed to me as anxiety. That feeling of not being able to breathe, feeling like you're constantly holding your breath. So it's anxiety, I guess, for me, can lead into depression. So when it gets really bad, sometimes I don't feel down, like I don't feel like I want to sleep all day or eat or suicidal. It's just this knot in your stomach that you carry with you all the time. Which I guess then makes me susceptible to other things. Like I almost died after my son, so I had sort of post-traumatic stress, and then my daughter had colic, so I got postpartum. So I think someone with anxiety does tend to get more, I don't know, more susceptible to other mental illnesses. Right now I'm doing okay. I've got kids and a husband, and I'm pretty successful, but it's something that sits with me sort of all the time. Sometimes I find that my anxiety is better when I exercise, or if I've got a project, if I'm not bored or lonely. If I'm busy and I'm painting, or I'm working, or I'm with friends or with family or at the beach, then it's okay. But when I'm by myself, it can get really bad. I get caught up in my own head. So every day is different, but it's always there. It affects, I guess, the main thing that affects is my family, my husband, my kids as well. I need to be constantly busy, and I'm constantly worrying, and so I can't just relax, I think is what I'm saying. Like I always have to be busy and doing stuff like a million times an hour, so it makes me really tired. I get really, I'm so high energy with my anxiety that I just crash, so I have to sleep a lot. Drives my husband mad. Luckily, I think I'm fortunate that I've got the personality that I was born with that makes me a go-getter, so I still, it doesn't hold me back. It might be a good thing because I've got this nervous energy, but it doesn't mean that that horrible feeling isn't there all the time. So in terms of work, it's actually probably a good thing because I'm really good at every job I do because of the energy I bring to it. But my private life, people that don't have anxiety struggle with the concept. Like one day I'll be buzzing around, cleaning the house, doing stuff, and then the next day, like, I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to see anyone, like, I lose myself in a book or in my phone because I just want to stop thinking. See, I'm quite an open person. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I have no problem, and I'm not embarrassed to tell my friends that I do have anxiety. And I find the more that I speak to people about it, the more people go, oh my God, I have anxiety too. But they are almost embarrassed by it. I take medication, and I'm like, go to the doctor, it's something that can be treated. And they go, oh no, I don't want to be taking anything, like it's this awful thing. I had friends that have, killed themselves. I have friends that are on medication. I have friends that have breakdowns. My own family, I've had to visit my mom twice in hospital from nervous breakdowns. So no, it doesn't get spoken about enough, but that's why I'm here, because I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm a full person. I have 2 amazing kids. I've got great friends. I've got an amazing husband. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. It is what it is. And just because you don't have a symptom that you can see, like a cough or a temperature, doesn't mean it's not there. For me, it started at a very young age. My parents were in a custody battle for me, and then I sort of was going back and forth to social workers and psychiatrists, and so I kind of had help before I needed help, if that makes sense. Then I moved to America after I finished school when I was 18. I lived there for 6 months, and it was great. And then I moved to London, again by myself. And I think that was when I started realizing that I had anxiety, because I was by myself. I had no family. I was working really hard, and I hadn't studied, and that was playing on my mind that I hadn't studied, and I was working late nights, and yeah, I guess developed anxiety, and I think anxiety for me also came from insecurity, because of my childhood, and I was young, and I didn't really have like a role model. Like, everyone seemed so solid that I sort of started being my own worst enemy. I was 26 when we had my son, and then I almost died, which is another whole story. And from that, I had post-traumatic, and the anxiety kind of stayed. So I got medicated again. It just kind of stayed with me, because I think being a mother as well, and raising kids is a beautiful thing, but it's incredibly difficult. And I don't think people talk about that enough as well, because it's stressful. I got weaned off that, and then with my daughter, I guess because I always started off with my son, I had all these high expectations. And then, she had colic and she just cried all day. So I went from being this to, oh my God, this is so stressful. So I was medicated again. And I haven't really got off it since, because trying to work and raise 2 kids with no family, with a lot of history, makes you really stressed out and really anxious. So I think the main thing is knowing that you're not alone. You're not alone. Like, sorry. I thought that I was so alone for so long. And when you meet other people that suffer in silence, it's really sad. So I think it's more like, it's okay to talk about it no matter what you're dealing with, whether it's depression or anxiety or post-traumatic or OCD or whatever it is. Like, it's okay. It's just, it's like, it's your brain. It's fine. It doesn't mean that you can't function. Like, I'm a high-functioning, highly anxious person. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that you're human, you know? And I think it's brave to say that you're not okay, you know? It doesn't mean you're not going to have like a great life. And for me, talking about it, like doing this, like, it's like you take all the weight off your shoulders, because you're going like, I'm standing up and I'm going, it's okay.